Hey, everybody, I'm Balance, and today we're going to analyze the parts of an MMO you'll arguably spending the most time on. MMOs are a very weird genre to talk about, since unlike most, a majority of these games are free to play. This requires them to extend playtime in order to keep you around long enough for them to update the game with additional content. The result is that pretty much every MMO has some form or another of daily or weekly quests for you to complete. So if you're curious about an MMO's actual gameplay loop without spending a whole lot of time leveling up a character, then keep watching, and I'll let you in on the daily grind of Phantasy Star Online 2. Alright, so if we're talking about daily quests, the Daily Order NPC is a pretty great place to start. This NPC has a bunch of quests that reset each day. These quests offer a decent amount of EXP and Meseta, which is the game's main currency. Additionally, 3 of these quests have daily boost icons, and this gives you a tri-boost upon completion. This is a common effect in PSO2, and what a tri-boost does is gives you an increased yield of EXP, money, and rare drops, hence tri-boost. Completing these noted quests will fill up your daily boost meter, and you can earn up to a 50% tri-boost bonus at 10 quests completed, with an overflow going up to 15, since this number decreases by 1 every day. So once it's full, you'll have 5 days of let before the boost drops again. The other quests, while not giving a daily boost, generally give slightly better rewards, but also reset on a daily basis. These quests include a bunch of different tasks, such as hunting a monster, completing a mission, catching a certain fish, very typical stuff. As you might expect, certain quests are more rewarding than others, so typical endgame experience would be to pick up the valuable daily orders and completing those while not wasting your time on low reward orders that would take a lot of time. A notable quest from the myriad of possibilities is a quest to slay Bar Lotus, which is a weird fish monster that, for whatever reason, his quest gives a ton of Meseta. While most daily orders hover around from 60 to 100k, Bar Lotus has a quest that gives 250,000 Meseta. So whenever he shows up, it's generally a good idea to take that daily order as a top priority. Another daily feature of PSO2 is recommended quests. These are accessible in the quest menu, and essentially it's just a selection of 4 quests that are recommended. Clearing these quests with at least an A rank rewards the player with a present. These presents can contain really good stuff like bonus keys, which allow you to go into a special quest where you can earn a lot of EXP and items very quickly. However, presents don't always have good items, and sometimes you'll get bad rewards too. It should be noted that the Daily Order Daily Boost quests and the first recommended quests always line up with each other. So doing your first recommended quest is a very easy way to find what you need for your daily boost quest that day. Next, we need to bring up the mission pass system and the daily and weekly missions it offers. This isn't really a unique system, and it's found in many games, so I won't go into too much detail, since we're more so concerned about what daily chores it offers us to do. With a mission pass, we have daily missions and weekly missions. These reset as you might expect on a daily and weekly basis, but are generally the same task with some very minor differences. These missions are scaled to your level, but only scale up to level 50, which is reachable very quickly in PSO2. At level 50 and above, these tasks include completing any quest on the super hard difficulty, having a drink, which is essentially a little buff kiosk that you can find in the lobbies and before you go into any mission, using a booster item or food, so any kind of EXP boosting item or Meseta boosting item or tri-boost item, as well as any food that you might craft with a mechanic that we'll get into a little bit later, and completing a daily order. And then there's also a bonus one for completing all of the other 4 dailies. These quests reward the player with pretty valuable items, such as X cubes, which are usually obtained from breaking down weapons, and as such are used for a lot of things in PSO2. Lambda grinders, which are necessary to upgrade high-end gear, and booster items, which are basically your EXP scrolls in this game. And a bonus key, which again will let you participate in bonus quests for massive EXP gains. These missions also give EXP, by the way, and if you're a big brain, you can complete the quest on one class and swap over to a lower level class and turn it in. And that way you could level other classes as well. This way, if you want to try out other classes, which is recommended, you won't have to start right away from level 1. Weeklies, in the same vein, are like daily quests, but reset weekly instead. The tasks are a bit larger, but so are the rewards. Of these, you have 2 quests which rotate their task, and 3 that don't. One of these quests is generally extremely simple, such as using the swap shop, which is commonly used to turn weapons into X cubes, and using those cubes in the X cube shop would be another quest. Another rotating quest is to clear either an advanced quest or a time attack quest. The best way to finish this task is to simply find the fastest quest of that type and run through it. Advanced quests are kind of like normal quests, but have a risk build-up system and require capsules to enter. For the purpose of our weekly quests, we just kind of want to rush to the boss and get our check mark. Abandoned Mine is generally the go-to for this one, since the teleporters allow instant travel between large spaces, cutting down on travel time considerably. As for the time attack quests, these are timed missions and the goal is to clear them quickly. Most of these are obstacle courses, with deliberate paths and set monsters to make for a speedrunning challenge. Since obstacles obviously would slow us down, we want to do the Harukuten one because it's just a kill room and it's by far the fastest time attack quest. As for your set weekly missions, you get one for clearing 15 daily missions. This means that you can clear your weekly missions within 3 days if you do all 5 daily missions for 3 days. You also get another one for earning Meseta from client orders, which is essentially quests from NPCs. It's worth noting that weekly quests give some valuable items, such as augmentation aids, which are essential for endgame gear building, as well as golden bonus keys, which are just bonus keys, but even better. What's more notable for our main task here is that weeklies give up to 2 million Meseta per week, on top of much larger EXP rewards, and this is of course stacks with the money that you'd be making doing the quests themselves. Of course, you also get points into the mission pass, but you'll progress the furthest on these by completing tier missions. This is a third group of quests, which, instead of giving you rewards or EXP, items or money, instead just give you large boosts to your tier points, which is how you climb the ranks on the current mission pass. These tier missions reset on a weekly basis and can be just about anywhere in terms of difficulty. Alright, so maybe you're tired of running around and you just want to relax and do some fishing. Well, I've heard of better timing, but I guess we should talk about urgent quests. PSO2 has a unique system where every few hours an urgent quest will appear. These are the closest thing to endgame rating that you'll probably get in PSO2, and while a lot of them have different mechanics, the gist of it is that a quest is open, usually for about a half an hour, so you better go do it now. Urgent quests have some of the best rewards in the game, and by the nature of them being time limited, you generally get a lot of people jumping into them at once, so finding a party is never really an issue. These aren't really daily quests, and they can be grinded with the use of trigger items, which are basically items that allow you to activate an urgent quest for yourself and your friends, which is a very popular grinding tactic among groups of players. And many guilds will actually hold trigger events to let everybody burn their triggers quickly, while also getting handsomely rewarded in the process. But for those of us with no friends, you're limited to the pugs the scheduled urgent quests will give us. These are scheduled, so planning your days around these limited quests is probably a good idea. Alright, so where was I? Harvesting, yes, harvesting. A much more passive daily activity is harvesting, and as you might have guessed, this gives us materials. These materials are mainly used to craft skill rings, allowing you to use skills from other classes, and some of which actually boost your own skills as well. In addition to this, you can mix materials together to make some powerful buff consumables. Most of these materials are tradable too, so if you don't feel like crafting anything, you can just go ahead and sell those on the market. PSO2 has 6 unique planets where you can harvest, and each area of these planets offers different materials. The names of the materials couldn't be simpler, so if you're looking for a Tokyo opal, it's probably found in Tokyo. Since harvesting the land is generally a lot more rewarding than fishing, fishing is mainly used to trigger harvesting fevers, which boosts the amount of materials that you gain per harvest and also allows you to harvest the same node without it fading. So the average harvest would be finding the materials that you need, going on an expedition on that map, finding the fishing spot to activate a fever, and then gathering all you can with it. The reason why harvesting is a daily activity is that it has a stamina meter. Each harvest takes 10 stamina, and you have a base cap of 100. This will slowly recover over the course of 6 hours, but when you run out, the game will so generously ask you if you'd like to spend star gems to recover the stamina instead. But it's a really bad idea. No matter how enticing they make the deal look, star gems are more valuable than this, and are better used to buy cosmetic, booster items, and triggers in the Fresh Finds shop. Or you could try your luck in the very valuable Star Gem scratches, which offer much rarer items than a typical cash shop scratch ticket. After a bit of harvesting, you might have noticed you got some rare items from each planet, and this is where our next weekly quest comes in. Meet Yurkiz. He's a rich dude in the cafe who is paying handsomely for some otherwise useless rares from harvesting. The items he'll give you quests for are the Naver Shroom from the Navarius planet, Wolpel Shell from Wolpel, Harukatin Fragments from Harukatin, Dragon Scales from Amduskia, Vests from Lilliput, and finally Empty Bottles from Earth. Each of these quests is 100,000 Meseta, so a total of 600k. These quests were set on a weekly basis, so assuming you keep up with your harvesting daily, it should just be another added bonus on top of the money you're already making from your other weeklies. Another unique thing that's not really a daily, but something that just happens regularly on PSO2 is campaigns. PSO2 regularly holds campaigns to promote certain activities. In some cases, the rewards for these campaigns can be absolutely absurd, and is one of the main reasons that progression on the global server has been just so insane. An example of a campaign is clearing a certain quest that you'd otherwise not really pay attention to, and be rewarded with booster items, bonus keys, or in some cases cosmetic items or even gear. But that's the general rundown for the basics of PSO2 dailies. If you're more interested in the game itself, I'd love to make an endgame review sometime in the future where I talk about stuff like the monetization aspects, class balance, and whatnot. Let me know if you want to see that. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Psst. Hey. You want more dailies? Let me tell you a secret. Alts. Yeah, you heard me. Alts. What, you think you're getting a lot of money doing your dailies and weekly quests? What if I told you that those rewards were character bound? Meaning that with more characters, you'd get more rewards. Alright, so you're making 2-3 million per week on one character? Well, you know you can make 3 characters for free, right? That's almost 10 million Meseta a week. All you gotta do is get a couple characters up to level 50 and you're happening. And if you're not satisfied with that, you can even buy more slots and get even more money per week. It's not for the faint of heart though, and you might get burned out doing nothing but dailies for several hours a day, but just think of the profits you could make. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to see more like it, and check the description for stuff. Mainly the Patreon link, where you can get your name up here on the board with all these nice sponsors we've got here on the channel. And while you might not see me, I'll definitely see you in the next video.